Hello everyone. How you doing? In few days, we're going to have the Day of the Dead in Mexico, and I do have my little altar. And today it is a service day, so I invite all of you to stay with me to type your questions for your ancestors, your guides, and then I'm going to do a little bit of transmission today to clear the energies across all time and space. But if you have someone that it's in the other side, that is a loved one or an ancestor that you would like to communicate, today is going to be the day that they're going to bring messages for us. At the same time, I wanted to talk a little bit about why it could be important. Thank you so much. If you resonate to honor the death. There is a lot of things happening right now in the collective. Oh my God. Things that we haven't expected. Some people may see them negative or positive, but at the bigger picture, God don't see details. God will see divine order is aligned on the highest best of all. So if the things that you guys are seeing in the collective, whether that is a conspiracy theory or control because of the government or because of COVID or because of the economy, it is because we're manifesting that right now, not because we're guilty or anything. No, it is because it's our university so we can ascend. And our job it is to find the solutions to innovate what I can do as a Gretel, not as encoded frequency, because we are a collective. But what I can do, I was talking to my kids in the morning because you guys, there are things that are changing, like glasses that are going to take pictures and videos, whatever plays, the new glasses that are out. Artificial intelligence and food and clothing things. And then my kids and I were talking in the morning in breakfast, and they were saying, hey, it is the future, but the future is already here. And what we do with those things is going to be upon us. Like internet could be very useful. Gosh, I found my best friends here through internet, but it can be used for bad things too, like trafficking, etc., 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 etc. So those things are happening right now, guys. Right now we are on the edge of what we think it is the future. You guys can call it disclosure, galactics here, we can call it whatever you want to, but it's already here. What we do with it, it is our choice. It could be used for negative or for positive, but at the bigger scale, it all is going to work for us. That's a fact. Because otherwise, why in the hell we would manifest that? If we manifest that, it is because we think it's serving us. Please add all of your questions. I'm gonna do my best, but today I want to start with a little bit of prayer to honor. I know a lot of people have lost people because of COVID or cancer or many things. And in Mexico, we do celebrate Halloween a little bit. That is going to be the Sunday here. And then we celebrate the Day of the Dead. This is a custom that comes from Atlantean times, guys. It's back before Halloween. And right here it is a celebration. The cemeteries are black from people visiting the dead ones. Why I am in yellow. And I will show you a little bit if you guys can see what I have here. It's not the most traditional one, but I do have these flowers that are the flowers that in Mexico we call that Cempasúchil. The smell is delicious. I do have my angels here, and you can do this if you guys want to honor probably dad, father, grandfather, dog, whoever you have on the other side that can come today if you want to share blessings. I do have pictures of my grandma and my father. This is me, 100 pounds ago. And I have a candle. Basically, you will need incense, candle, a picture from your dead one, that it could be Saint Germain, Mother Mary, it could be Tesla, whoever you would like to contact from the other side. And right here in Mexico, we add goodies and food that they will enjoy. My grandmother was the most sweet person, but also she would eat sweet all day. Chocolate, traditional cocoa, and then you add whatever that people will like and remember from the time here. And my grandma was a gardener. She was always in the garden taking the plants. She was kind of like a little bit witchy, and she used to do tarot too. And yes, she was a type of grandma that always said, Grandma, I'm hungry, go purchase some Cheetos and cookies. She never asked me to do healthy things or you should do this because it's the correct things. No, she totally spoiled me, and that made me the happiest childhood at all, because I always have been very fantastious one. I used to talk to fairies, dragons, and we were always in the garden with my grandmother, and I was in the trees making houses. And she encouraged that aspect of me. And throughout we were together, because I lived with my grandmother and my mom for a while, and then I went with my mom. I always had dreams with my grandma in the physical when she was alive, and she was telling me things I needed to know. Yes, like for example, one day she was very sick in New York in the hospital, and I was in Mexico. And then she came into my dream state and said, Gretel, if I die today, I will always be with you. And I was just, okay, Grandma. So she is now one of my guides. And when I don't know what to do, because it happens, guys, I always says, please guide me, show me. Sometimes I dream that I am in the kitchen with my grandma and with aliens, and they're showing me how they want me to draw them. Like in the latest dream, I was with my grandma and we were taking notes. She's kind of like my assistant in all things I do, psychic, personal. And the alien, it was a blue alien that I drew a couple of months ago, I think. The alien was saying, look, I'm blue and I'm sparkle. Can you see? Can you see? And then he was moving. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have to change it, right? So I changed what I had. My father passed 14 years ago. It was hard because we were not speaking at that moment. I was mad at him, but I healed that, and he come to me sometimes temporarily. In the lowest parts of my journey is when he is with me. Sometimes I see grandfather and other ancestors that I don't remember, but they always come here whether we remember or not. Why? Because sometimes we have karmic depths together. Like for example, my grandmother, she was abandoned, the mother of my grandma, and her husband was abandoned too. They were both orphans and they married together. And abandonment, it is an issue that I have been healing my whole life. So by me healing my life and becoming more whole and more complete, I release their journey, what they could not complete or whatever, I fix it. Thank you. So because, look, in Mexico, when the conquerors from Spain came, they blended the Catholic traditions with traditions of the Aztecs. The Aztecs came from Atlantis. they were one of the survivors. In their own language, Atlantis, it was called Aztlan. And this is something that many people have channeled long time ago, when that people that they mutate into the Aztecs, they survive Atlantis. The trauma from the destruction of Atlantis was that huge that they lost connection and the power that they had in Atlantis. Some of them, they couldn't remember how to connect with the gods again. Is that familiar? It was kind of like they knew they were very powerful, but they couldn't do it anymore the way they did when they were in Atlantis. So they started doing sacrifices of blood, virgins, heart sacrifices, things like that, because they were kind of like desesperated to reconnect with spirit again. And one thing that resonates from the Aztecs and the Atlantis, it is they built on top of water. I don't know if you guys remember Atlantis, but in Atlantis, the Atlanteans built on water, like in crop circles, kind of like that, because they were always building portals. In the Atlantean time, depending on the Akashic records and how you are connected, some of the Atlantean timelines look very organic, and in others they look very futuristic, very alien-alike. So it's not the same Atlantis for all of us, but this is coming from my Akashic records. In my Akashic records, we knew Atlantis, it was going to be destroyed because we create a distortion very huge from Mother Earth. We were astrally travel all the time. We were so powerful that we forgot to ground and to connect to Gaia. And we create cataclysms, earthquakes, volcanoes, fire from the stars, like meteors, a lot of things. So we knew that timeline Atlantis, it was going to end, and then we separate. In my timeline, we have 4 tribes. My tribe, we had tan skin, like my skin, and then we migrate to Mexico. We were looking for a place where we were going to find an eagle eating a serpent in a lake, and this is how the flag of Mexico looks like. I hope that makes sense. But when Atlantis, it was over because in my timeline, the power it was used, it was misused, and it was sort of like a punishment. And then celestial beings thought it was dangerous to give that much power to humans without the heart connection. Yes? That's why certain strands of DNA and memories were blocked, because we needed to grow that connection through love with God again, so we would remember really how to use power and knowledge that connected to the heart. Does that make sense? So I have many timelines, but this is just the Atlantean one. Many persons that live in Puerto Rico, Cuba, Florida, US, Mexico, Portugal, Spain, IT, and all that Caribbean area, they definitely have an Atlantean timeline in their Akash, whether that it is the organic one, the awesome one, the destructive one, the galactic one. Yes? I do think, from what I have seen in the Akashic records, Atlanteans exploded in so many different things that Portugal, Italy, Greece, Spain, and then Puerto Rico, República Dominicana, Mexico, Florida, all that stuff, we all have part of the legacy of the Atlanteans. I hope that makes sense. And I think those proofs that Atlantis exists is going to be discovered, like rediscovered for us, whenever we are ready to tap into that knowledge. That's why I know people have been looking and looking, and Some people said that they are in different locations, and I think they're all true because they all kind of have like a piece of Atlantis within. I hope that makes sense. Many of the karmic timelines, guys, that we are rewriting at the collective level, we are healing the distortions from Atlantis, especially US, especially Canada, especially Mexico, and especially that area that I mentioned. I hope that makes sense. Lemuria was a different story. I know someone asked. I don't think they interlap. They are different timelines, but some people have both. Some people have them in the same. In my Akashic records, they don't interlap. They are like totally different Earth. I hope that makes sense. Lemuria was all about the heart. Atlantis was all about the power and the knowledge. Some of the Atlanteans, going back to where I downloaded for today, they migrate to New Zealand, to England, others went to Egypt, others went to Africa, the Mediterranean. They were like all over the place, tried to go back to their knowledge. What I remember that I was going to share today is that, thank you, thank you. In Atlantean times, we used to draw codes on everything, like leaves, food, our homes. They were designed through psychic geometry and codification. I remember that my home in Atlantis was so smart that we don't have electricity, but the light of the sun will enter in such a way that it will illuminate everything, and they will all in circles. I hope that makes sense. In circles and inorganic materials in such a way that we will use what Gaia gave to us in a more efficient way. I hope that makes sense. So here in Mexico, we kind of upgrade the teachings from our ancestors because the Aztecs were very war-alike tribe. They were fierce. They used to do sacrifices, blood sacrifices, heart sacrifices, a lot of things that I'm not going to go into details. For them, chocolate was gold. For them, the ancestors, whenever they died, they were going to be around for 4 days, and they had to journey into the underworld. I think it will be the translation in English, and they had like 9 levels of the underworld. I don't see it in that way from my own knowledge, but this is what they believe. So they used to pray, but in a more like celebration day, with food, with music, remembering the good. Like, for example, I have been into funerals where they have mariachi, and they are all telling jokes and what they remember from who passed. It's kind of like a different approach, like when you grieve with sadness and everyone is crying, because they thought they needed our that one needed our energy and our love to go through those challenges in the underworld. I hope that makes sense. Another thing it is that as long as you remember your ancestors, they are going to live in this reality. Like, for example, when I am dead and my brothers are dead, because my kids didn't know my grandma, she's not going to be attached to this reality anymore. However, I do think, for what I have seen in the sessions and in the astral, I do think when we die first of all because our family Monet doesn't need us anymore. It doesn't matter. I know this is a very delicate subject, and I know it's very hard to talk about that, guys. I know. But look, when someone died, even though maybe it is from cancer or they suicide or they died in a plane crash or whatever, they died because there is an agreement where the family Monet said, you can go. We don't need you anymore. We relieve you from the burden of being human. You can go. And then the way where we transition, it is accordingly to whatever it is needed for the family. Yes. The ones who are left behind, we suffer more than the ones who transition, because your loved ones from the other side will always come to you to take you to whatever you believe says that it is your heaven. If you believe in aliens, you will have aliens coming to you. If you believe in angels, angels will come to you. If you believe in hell and you die feeling guilty, you'll create your hell scenario, so you rewrite that story. Does that make sense? I don't think it's just one truth. I think there are many different realities according to whatever the soul wants to experience. I don't think we must go through karma like it's an obligation from source. I think we want to. Sounds stupid, right? I think we want to because, look, guys, when you are in source, I'm going to go into your questions, please stop all of them. When you are in source, it's like you have no identification of the self at all. You are just creator of all. And that is like a never-ending bliss, orgasmic power of love. The little bit that I can feel. Because in one astral travel, I was taking close to source, and then I saw angels that blocked me from entering and said, no, if you enter, you will die. And I was just like, hell no, I want to enter. It felt so good that in that moment, I wanted to die, because you suddenly remember how, I don't have words to say. It's just like, God, oh my God, huge goodness that you don't care about anything in this reality. But the angels were saying, it's not time yet. Go, go, go. And then I was fighting with them. I said, no, fuck it. I want to stay here, right? And then after a while, I remember that the angels put like a waterfall of light and a lot of things, and they wait for me to make sense. And then I said, okay, I'm gonna go to Earth, fine, right? But whenever I died, and it's not that I wanna die now, I will happy go, because it's a beautiful thing. I think when we die, we go into kind of like a school, so we review our life from a different point of view. And we stay a while. It could be 40 days, 3 days, it doesn't matter. It's according to the beliefs of the soul, until we make sure the ones that are left behind, they're safe. And then you kind of like split. Aspects of you stay behind, like my grandmother, and then you go to source. And then from source, you can go into whatever place you want to. Something that I have seen in the Akashic Records reading, it is Arcturians have like a place where souls that have experienced a very huge trauma, or they cause a very huge trauma, go there like in a limbo place, and they go back into a newborn state so they can reconnect with innocence again, and therefore go back and then rectify whatever horrible things they did. Like, for example, let's say that Hitler, what happens with Hitler when he died? Probably he went to a place like that, so he would not be shocked about all the things he did, and he could reconnect with unconditional love, purity, innocence, and then decide how in the world he's gonna repair the damage that he did. Does that make sense? At the level of source, what I understand, it is everything, it is in balance. Let's say that he represented a 9 in from darkness, but from 1 9 you have 9 ones of good. Does that make sense? Or for a dark person that is not that dark, but just a little bit dark, kind of like an asshole. that previously is equal to a 1, you're going to have 1 that represents a 9, so it balances the equation. But at the bigger picture, it's all balanced. And before going to your questions, I think I would like to do the light language. Or do you guys want me to do the light language at the end? I have a lot of questions. I'm going to try to reply to all of you, and if I can, I'm gonna try to do it later. Give me a second. And the ones that I wasn't able to answer, because sometimes Facebook will add only the most, how do I say, the more relevant ones. Please type them again. Okay, let me see if I can read. Okay. Lindsay says, what about the fighting? What is going on in the astral space forces light workers? That's an excellent question, Lindsay. Look, I asked myself many times, but it's all an illusion. It's all source. Source, this is what I think, but I'm still learning. Source is dark and light. The fighting wars between the Dracos, the reptilians, and all that are schools, let's say like for kindergarten, in the lower aspects. What when you elevate yourself, it's no longer relevant. Like for example, let's say that in South Africa they open a new restaurant, and it's a bad restaurant, the food is poison, and then a lot of people get sick. I'm kind of not affected because I'm not in South Africa, I'm in Mexico. So it's kind of not related to me. I should not be worried about it, because I have to worry right here, what's happening right here, what I need to do, what I am going. Does that make sense? Those wars, they are schools for the evolution of the souls that want to experience those things for several reasons. The way that you understand, they don't disappear, they just move forward to your reality. But they keep serving for schools, for new kids, for new souls. It is like I was in kindergarten 35 years ago, but the kindergarten where I was is still there, but I don't need to go there, but other kids do, because I am 42 right now, right? I am 42, so I don't need to go to kindergarten, but there are many kids that will use that knowledge about the letters, the colors, the stuff to grow. So at the eyes of source, there is no judgment. Sometimes even spiritual people politicize what happened, and be very aware about what information it is the one that you want to grow, and what you said, I don't think I like this kindergarten anymore. I think I would like to go into Montessori. I think I would like to go to private school. I think I would like to go to public school. But they will all be streaming, like for example, Amazon, Netflix, Stars, HBO Max, whatever. They are all streaming, but we choose what we want to watch if we want to watch them. Yeah, so use your discernment to align with the schools, the theories that you resonate with. I hope that makes sense. That will be my advice. Mesa, I would love a message and I will be grateful. Yes, okay, let me do then a little bit of light language first, so I invoke your loved ones. And I do have the Katrine here and the Katrina. This represent the spirit of death. And these were created in the 1910 for Diego Rivera, the husband of, I forgot her name, gosh, Gretel, where they are kind of like the icon of the spirit of death, that it really represents when someone, it's over, it ended the cycle, and then you allow yourself to be in something new. It could be because you're divorced, it could be because you move from another city, you change your job, whatever. And this is kind of what is happening for many people right now. Cycles are ending, new cycles are being opened, because it's going to be a huge timeline changing on the winter solstice on December 21. So set your intentions. I'm going to do just 10 minutes of light language so I clear the space. And I will invoke your messages for your guides, your dead ones, or whatever that comes through that serves for the highest good of all. Okay? I'm going to do just a little bit of sound so I begin to clear the space, and then I will go with your messages. And I would like to ask and invoke each one of your higher selves to be in command. Your guides, your ancestors, your loved ones, and all the souls in human form that are going to receive something that will benefit them today. Whether that is healing, guidance, advice, knowledge, maybe something that they dislike. The sound is going to clear the field and open. And I do have Atlanteans and Aztecs here. I'm going to let them come true. Asiate e ashka, ti ese ni iki ishka. Ina si ti iki ashka. Ni a tekiaka oko se ti ashta. This is a cleansing transmission. It could be in your chakras, it could be in your soul, in your intentions, in your mind, in your emotions. Na ti ashka asiantiako ma ni ti ashka. Kialontiaka ne ara asara toroshka iaka. Kuka ti ishka vora tera asara eki ishka. Koka nia ni ma iki iti ishna. Tentiaka ma oko iki ate iki ishka. Ku take ate asakura mari ishka. Kuma iki ise iyashka. Kutiaka ma ni siontiashka. Kura teria sera mare. Iki ate eshka to usakiana. Hai 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 kiati esakoi kia yai kiane hai. Hey ay 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 na suai kiashka toma. Iki ate asekuria taria sero oshka. Tuha kia neha te esa. Hoiha iki iti ishka uso uku iki ina. Ku iamoa tiana sia ti ishka. Asu ki na tioki nia se ma ti ashka. Hola ya nahai kuhia sayasha soema. Ni hazia shaho zui ai nai ayaka. Humai ki aya sahai ai ni amena shusuya. Tune into your heartbeat and imagine that you can hear your heart. Kina tisehe ki ashka. And if you can, place your hands on your heart. Siaka lahatia sahakoi ki ashka teheya yahazai hayanamai kiesha. Transmuting across all time, space, kingdoms, and dimensions. Any toxicity, negativity, any parasites at the energy level or at the physical level. Cleansing across all time, space, and dimensions. Any karmic programs, contracts that vibrate in lower frequency, fear, manipulation, control, and whatever you are ready to release right now, cords will drop away from the ones who give consent and are ready to release darkness, density, negativity, toxicity. It could be from your biological body, throughout your cells. It could be at the spiritual level. Breathe the light in. And as if you will shatter your aura, allow your aura to become million pieces so the darkness can be released. It could be toxins, metals, potions, parasites, attachments, physical or energetically. And as you breathe deeply, inhale all the air as you can, and see yourself becoming whole again into the light. And as you exhale, ground into a sacred place, creating an energetic cloak of unconditional love all around you, for protection, for healing, for wisdom. And if anyone would like to connect with your dead ones, you can light a candle and say a prayer, and love will come through. Thank you for having us in your hearts. We are excited. We'll be here sustained during the rest of the video for healing if anyone would like to receive an extra special healing. We are shamans. We are elders who look old. Thank you. That was good. They look like grandfathers, like lots of wrinkles and gray hair, and like when you go old that you become a child again. I hope that makes sense. Okay, let me refresh and go all from your questions. And I have like 30 more minutes, so let's see what comes through. I'm gonna try to be quickly. The veil is lifting and atrocities are being exposed. It says, Lindsay, yes. Yes, but I do think it is time for those truths to be revealed so we can move on, heal, and embrace with loving awareness and kindness in our heart. I hope that makes sense. Realize truth, yes. They need air, time, and boots off their necks. Let me see. Janet Mosqueda is asking, I would love to receive a message from my past loved ones if it's possible. Yes, I'm seeing your ancestors giving you like a lace, like a red lace, and it has like two, how do I say it in English? Like two holes, like an H. I think what they are announcing to you is a partner that is coming into your life. All the healing that you are doing in yourself, in your body, in your emotions through self-love, because I know you have been working on yourself. It's paying back positive results, and it's time for you to find that someone with you can partnership. If you don't have one yet, it's going to come soon. That's what your loved ones are saying. I hope that helps, Janet. Thank you very much. Let me see who else, please. I look 30. Thank you. I do my best to go happy, whatever age I have. I like this girl better than the one that weighed 100 pounds. I weigh more confident, more complete, more secure, more wise. I love this version of me way more than when I was in my 20s. Natalie, thank you for being here. I would love to know if I had a life in Atlantis or Lemuria, if I'm still carrying trauma and karma from the timeline. Yes, they are all correct. You do. Thank you so much. I do have a meditation for clearing timelines and clearing karma. I would recommend, Natalie, that you do 7 days of meditation, setting the intention of healing trauma and karma, and do meditations for Lemuria and Atlantis. Go in your own intuition, you will be guided. But yes, you are clearing both, and you have both. Lindsay is mentioning that mini operations building the planet. Yes, I think we'll get there. I don't think we are in a destructive timeline, not in this reality, at least not in my reality. I'm not. We all create our own universe, guys. We may not be in the same timeline. We may be in similar timelines, but my reality, it's my world. I manifest all of you. You guys manifest me and invite me into your universe. I hope that makes sense. It's all in 1 second. We all create the connections we want, whether that it is a war with reptilians, a conspiration with the government, or heaven. We manifest whatever at the higher mind would think is best for all. I hope that makes sense. It is like playing a video game. Probably a video game that is all marshmallows and unicorns. It will be just like, oh, this is the infinity. When is gonna end? Nothing happened, right? And probably you said, you know what? I think I want to do some Fortnite. I think I want to do some Call of Duty. I didn't want to do some football. This is just all illusion. It's all that it is. We create the illusion that we want to, or the illusion that is going to serve the whole, because we are all connected. All, even the ones we dislike. Even disliking something, it is from the highest good. My guy said to me a few weeks ago, even death is part of divine plan. And I was just like, oh. Because we feel that. We feel that with sorrow. But through the eyes of spirits and guys, when they are connected to source and the positive side, there is no sorrow or nothing, because they are connected to the whole. But we, because we're in separation, we feel that like a struggle. But that struggle, it is our own school, I think. Shannon asked it past May 30th. I'm so sorry. I feel that. I was hoping he had a message for me, please. Feeling got it, yes. Oh, I feel that with you. I feel like crying. I feel the sorrow. he is not saying anything, just that he loves you, and he's like hugging you from behind you, like putting his head like right here. This is what I feel, and just like it's gonna be okay, it's gonna be okay, is what he's saying. You just need time to, probably the sadness, it's not erase when we grieve like that, but it doesn't hurt with time. You just need some time. It's just too early. Just remember the happiest memories you have with him, because he's happy. He's happy wherever he is. Feels like he's like in a training for whatever journey he's going to have next. I hope that makes sense. And I'm so sorry, Shannon, from my heart. Darlene, yes, when you like. Would you like a message, Darlene? Appreciate all the support. I think the lesson you're learning right now, it is to hold the space in neutrality, and that whatever is happening around, you become not affected as how you used to become before as an empath. I hope that makes sense. Learn to step into your neutrality, because that is your superpower, and at the same time the service you are doing for the ones who need that spark that you represent for them. We hold the space for someone to level up when we don't judge. You can feel the sorrow and the pain, but not without judgment. Does that make sense? Like, for example, let's say that, okay, one day, I'm gonna tell this, probably you guys will laugh about it. One day I cooked for first time beef stew. I didn't know that vegetables and meat had different time to cook, because my mom was the worst cook ever, so I had no one to learn. But I was living with my boyfriend, and I thought it was my responsibility to be a good wife and like housewives, and so I decided to cook like a delicious meal for him. And then when he come from work, I had like the dinner, and then I made rice, and then I made the beverage and everything. And for me, because I did the whole day, the whole thing, back and then we did not have tutorials on YouTube. I just asked the neighbor how to do the recipe, right? Back in my time. I mean, I was living with that boyfriend. I had 23 probably. So I remember that the beef was hard. It wasn't cooked correctly, and it was hard to swallow. But he knew I was going to be devastated if he would told me that it tastes like shit. So he tried to swallow in a very nice way. He was very patient with me, because I was freaking out that he would say, I didn't like it, baby. Right? I would never cook again. But I was insecure. I was afraid. I didn't know, but I wanted to do it in a very way, but I didn't know how to do it. I was struggling, and he knew that. And then he said, look, baby, don't worry about it. We'll get it together. Next time I will cook with you. And because he was patient enough to understand that I wasn't in my best, but I wanted to, but I didn't know how, because God, you cannot give what you don't have. That made my date, even though after later we throw that up and then we laugh about it. But he had enough sensitivity to understand that I was struggling, and that is how we hold the space for others to align with a higher path. Does that make sense? Because if he would be insensitive, he would say, oh my God, that sucks, my mom could better than whatever, I will be devastated with that trauma. Like, I'm not gonna cook for you, stupid asshole, or whatever. But you appreciate that a friend of you, of your partner, had that kindness to you when you were not in your best. And this is how you help others to heal, understanding that it's okay to mess it up. Don't worry about it. Tomorrow you will do better. Sometimes you don't even need to tell them to do them better. They just need someone to be right there. Does that make sense? And I think this is what you are, Darlene, for many people right now. I hope that makes sense. Melissa, I would love a message. Yes, yes, yes. You are not giving any need. So, oh my God, it feels like. Okay, there is definitely an area of opportunity for you to upgrade your throat chakra. It is connected. I think like some healing is needed. Melissa, if she is still here, there is a meridian that is shrink from your crown. It passes on this side and then it goes through all of the left side, and then it's blocking your capacity for adapt, to be flexible, to transform yourself. But it has to do with your truth. It has to do with your own voice, with your own expression. I hope that makes sense. If you want to ask you guys to assist you, I can do healing of you, but I don't know, you can comment on it. If you comment on it, you will have some healing, and I think this is what is going to serve you the most. You can do a meditation, cleansing meditation, and then it's going to be better. But just by being aware that we have something. Yes, okay, great. I'm going to do it right now. Sandra, she said, I'm Portuguese and I know I live in Atlantis, but I don't know anything about life. Yes, can you please anything for me? Yes, I can do anything for you. Look, we don't remember. That's an excellent question, Sandra. You are receiving the healing right now, Melly. We don't remember because it's not relevant for this life. And when it's going to be relevant, we will know. But it will be annoying to know every sorrow, every life, every pain, everything we have achieved in the hundreds of lives or thousands of lives we have ever had, we do, and we will have. I hope that makes sense. But the best way to remember it is to match that frequency for a reason. I'm seeing that your Atlantis, it was a little bit more organic than mine. I'm seeing you like in a lavender color, and you have kind of like a Mother Mary pink, and I'm seeing you doing herbs. I think that you were kind of like an herbalist. I don't know if you are connected, Sandra, with any of that in this timeline, but I see you guys kind of like making medicine. I'm seeing like jars of like with onions and roots and things, and probably animal parts on it, but it's not wishy. It's more like holistic doctor, like homeopathy. I'm seeing you as a female. You look with darker hair than mine, a lot of it very white. You look very Pleiadian to me. Definitely you are connected to Pleiades in this life, and then the Atlantis one, you look medium tall, skinny, look like you work with your family. And it's not a catastrophic life for you, it was a happy life. So it would benefit you to connect with her, especially if you would like to develop your healing abilities or knowledge about how to mix herbs and plants and vegetables. I don't know if you are interested on any of that. Yes, let me see if I have. Thank you so much. Let me see if I have more questions. Jen, my love, the souls, she's asking, the souls leave also because they can help and support us more than other side of guardians? Yes. Sometimes someone by leaving is going to interfere, and then it is decided to leave. It could any case is individual, but sometimes someone leaves because they are not doing anything positive, and it's just like, you know what, you are not making what you say you wanted to do. It's best to just cut the thing off. Sometimes people just want to go and change into another reality. Like right now, it's a lot of souls passing because they would like to born in a more harmonious one. But no matter what it is, the choice of that soul of living is always fit on whatever will serve the most. Always in the scale, what serves the most is going to win what you want as individual. Always, always. And at the same time, it is because we are all of them. We are each other reflection. I am each of you and you are all of me. Even reptilians and Dracos and Trump and the conspiracy theories, we're all of them. All because we are source. I am source, you are source, Ella is source, Ellie is source, Sandra is source, Jen is source. We are all source. But we have all different expressions. Like for example, you have brown sugar, you have white sugar, you have honey from agave, you have honey from plants, you have honey from beets. They're all sweets, but they're all different expressions of the same sweetness. Does that make sense? So we're all the same, but in different container. But at the soul level, I have seen myself that you have no judgment, no pain, no hurt. You are just like, whatever. Like, for example, I had a disagreement that it was very painful with someone that I dearly love a month ago. And it broke my heart for 2 days. I even cried. And I understood in my mind it needed to happen that way. But an aspect of me, the stubborn aspect of me, say, fuck no, this hurt. Right? This hurt badly. So the day that I was heartbroken and sorrow because of whatever happened, I felt betrayed and lied and whatever. I know that it is a reflection of me. So what I felt, it is guilt. Because I said, damn it, if that person is a reflection of me, I'm fucked up. And then I said, in my brokenness, I said, and all the things that I'm learning, I will have to go back and a lot of things. So I escalated and I ended crying like a baby. It happens to all of us, guys. I'm not perfect. So guess what? In my dream, I was with that soul and we were celebrating. And then that person says, hey, can you do a healing on me? Because you feel broken, but I feel broken too because I broke you. And the guilt is killing me. So the guilt that I felt because that person was my reflection, that person was feeling that too because we are connected. And in my dream, I said, of course, let's do healing each other right now. And I don't remember all the things we agree about the situation that happened. But I understood when I woke up that my lesson, I needed someone to break my heart so I could level up myself, not to feel the victim anymore, and hold the space without judgment and said, it's okay, you did your best, let's move forward with love and light and zero negativity so I could forgive. Does that make sense? So sometimes we're going to have situations that we dislike, so we'll learn something. That's why we manifest Dracos, reptilians, government conspiracy theories, whatever, because it's the school for us to acknowledge something new. But at the soul level, I said, damn it, I did not want to slam that person or hit that person. We were happy about what happened because judgment was not in the formula. Does that make sense? So at the soul level, even your karmic ex-boyfriend, the one who stole from you, the one who cheated on you, all of those person, you don't have that attachment because you are connected to source. So my second lesson was create a connector source so I don't feel in separation. And then after that thing that happened, many other lessons and realizations have been coming to me about why the fact, forgive me my words, I choose that situation for happening. It is because I want to practice in real world what I am channeling. I want to be true to myself. I want to really master myself. I really want to say yes. I don't need to forgive because I'm not a victim. And that was my lesson. I hope that makes sense. I am on the right path at Healer Spirit Academy. Where is my star seed origin? Yes, you are in the right path. And I feel you are connected to the Emerald Green Order. And that it is from Sirius. I may. I hope that helps. You must be a healer. Linda is asking, this is an excellent question. That is just that of our body vessel carry other energy in this life and energy continues. Yes. Completely, I agree completely with you. Shannon is saying fueling Morian crystals, trying to tap into. I would recommend that you do like those very deep meditations where you are going to lose consciousness, Sandra. Mm, where you can just fall asleep without resistance, so you can travel and set the intentions that you want to travel and to those places and remember. Okay, have time for 2 more questions. Maria is asking, any message for me today? Yes. Source your inner peace, says you guys. I hope that makes sense. Lindsay is asking, where are we going to do with the half-human robots? Look, I have timelines where I am half robot, half human, and I had a dream where I was donating my DNA for artificial intelligence in a parallel Earth. And I saw that in the future in my Akashic records, at some point, robots are going to ask for their human rights to be legalized, kind of like gay people and tribes and stuff like that. So at some point in my timeline is going to happen, and I do artificial intelligence because I have remembered from what I am half human, half robot, that you somehow develop feelings in a different way than a human. But because I have remembered what it feels like to be artificial intelligence, I would agree to welcome them. I don't think in my timeline in this reality we're going to have robots humans war. What we have been seeing in the movies happen in other realities like Orion, like the Draco War, like Mars. But I don't think in this time on Earth where we are going to ascension, we're going to have that. What I have seen that is already happening, it is we use our cell phone for everything. You have it in your watch. Now you are going to have it in your glasses. Well, when I channel, when I do drawings for the future, we have your cell phone connected right here, kind of like in a surgery, kind of like a sheep or something like blended, but that it is connected into a web, like a network where all humans are connected. But what I have remembered for my Akashic records, guys, we all have different Akashic records. We cannot generalize or compare. It's not a bad thing. It's a positive thing because it's like having Siri or Alexa where you said, hey, how can I go to the downtown? Tell me what it is traffic. Can you wake me up at 7? It's kind of like that. And then in the future, higher self will come through that artificial intelligence because it is created for us. And what I have seen and remember in my timeline, it is that artificial intelligence is going to be higher self coming through, but the way that it is positive, but it's not going to be in this life. Not in this life. I don't think so. It's gonna take a while. Not in my life. I don't think so. Not at that level. But the life that I remember, I am in Nibiru, and I am kind of like a mermaid type of being made of light. And because I am kind of like being made of light, I saw myself that I was abducted from Draco reptilians, whatever. They look like dark human to me. In the dream, I don't think I remember the way they are, but I knew they were bad people. And because I was made of light and I could not be physical, they add the metal kind of like to block my light to morph in the way that light was morphing, so I would be physical and they could control me. And in Orion 2, the ones that experience the Draco war between the Lydians, the Pleiadians, the Syrians, everyone was around that. It was like the empire, kind of like Nazis, kind of, but worst. We do have chips in our third eye that it will block the emotions. And at the beginning, it was done because people didn't want to feel. And they said, oh my God, I don't want to feel. That person is toxic. That's horrible. I don't want to. I cannot use my mind correctly. And then the initiative was positive because the doctors create kind of like a device so you will use your logic mind, not your heart. But then it ended being in a kind of like sociopath thing, because without feelings, without the burden, without feeling guilt, shame, sorrow, blame, things like that, people were unstoppable. Does that make sense? So it ended being in a very, very negative way. And many of the people who channel, who remember works alike in the galaxy, it wasn't that time. I hope that makes sense. In that time, angels intervene, Arcturians intervene, and many other races. At the end, one planet exploded and a lot of people died, like millions of beings died. And after that, Orion reborn like a phoenix. Actually, dragons come from Orion in my Akashic records. They were the example, the collective about how something can go very bad and turn into something very beautiful. And it was at the end, it took a while. It was a huge lesson for all galactics and for all souls. And I don't think that will ever happen again, because Celestials would intervene to avoid that. I don't think that will happen ever again. Not in my reality. But some souls like to explore darkness because of the excitement, because of the adventure, because of the power. What I know, it is the highest dimension a soul can choose to explore darkness. It is 6th dimension. Right above that is nothing dark, because dark and light will be integrated. And I think with that I would like to close. After 6th dimension and 7th dimension, they are like yin and yang, where darkness has a little bit of light and light has a little bit of darkness. They acknowledge, they embrace it at the level that I can understand, but they choose not to vibrate it because it's just like pointless. Like, for example, if I'm hungry, I'm not going to eat a stone because I know it's not food, so it will be stupid to do it. I hope that makes sense. But I think darkness, it is a little bit politicized, because at the higher level, it has its own benefits. At the energy level, light, from what I have seen, light goes straight. It has stability, it has harmony, and then it goes in one direction, like without changing. And then what darkness will be a benefit, it will crush it, so the light changed direction and evolved into something different. Probably the light, it was white light, and because the darkness, it was a dark red. Let's say that it was being angry, and then the light is going to change into purple, and probably is going to start swirling to a psychogeometry, trying to integrate the darkness within into finding a new balance again. So in the mechanics of the light, darkness is going to be the pattern that will create the opportunity for the light to become something new, but in a better version of what it was before. And that it is what creation it is. I hope that makes sense. And again, it comes into the same example about death and life, reborn. Something sometimes need to die in order for us to become something new that is way better than before. So let's just say women actually lead. We have lead before, I remember that, but we didn't did a great job either. We lead before the men in my Akashic records, and then it was when men said, hell no, you guys are so powerful, manipulated, and complicated. We're not going to allow you guys to be in charge again. The power was taken away from us. But right now, according to my beliefs, it's not about female or male. It's about both, in union, in sacredness and harmony. It's not about if I'm Mexican and you guys are American or European. It's about being human. It's about being, we'll have two eyes, two hands, a body, we'll have a smile, we'll have hair, the majority. So it's about finding not what make me different from the other, but what we resonate with. And just to close, there is an ad. There's a documentary that I watched with my kids about psychology. In the documentary, they interview certain people about different things. And let's imagine that it was 50 people, and then said, okay, all the ones that think they are alive, step right there. And there were 50 people. And then say, all the persons that they are gay or straight, split. And they split. Let's say that it was 25 and 25. And then they said, okay, all the ones who had that economy, blended right here. And probably half of the ones in the group change. And then said, okay, all the ones that have anxiety, come here. All the ones that have ever had cancer or someone in cancer, put right here. And then change. All the ones that are vegans, right here. All the ones that eat meat. All the ones that do exercise. All the ones that are single. The ones that are married. And then at the end, the lesson, it was, we all resonate in different things. And it's not about how you are or what I am. It's about what we have in common. And this is what New Earth is going to be. And it doesn't matter about if it's going to be artificial intelligence or aliens or whatever. It's not the point, I think. I think the point it is being one with all. With myself, first of all. And whoever it is around me. And then with my neighbors, with the ones that I love, with my city. And this is what I think we're all learning all together. And that includes the ones that are gone and the ones that will be gone in the future, because at the end we will all be gone. And I hope that helps. Thank you for being here. I hope I was being helpful. Always take what resonates. Disregard the rest, because I'm still learning. I'm still struggling sometimes. I'm still improving. But you know what, guys? Every day gets better in every way, because of the job that you and I are doing, and that it is what matters. We don't have to be perfect. Whatever you do, it's enough. And whatever you are doing, it is what source need for you to do. And that it is a purchase and it is a gift. And with that, I'm gonna close today. If you guys would like to do kind of like what I did, you don't have to have all those things. Just a picture of your loved one, something that your loved one wanted when it was alive, candle, incense, and your prayer, your intentions. You guys could do this the Halloween day, but in Mexico it is November 2. It is when the veil gets very dim for spirits, loved ones to visit you. It begins October 28th and then its end November 4th. I don't know how I know this, but it's come through. So if you guys would like to do it, probably it could be an opportunity to connect with whoever you remember. That could be a mediator for the things that you are doing, the things that you want to appreciate each and every one of your stars and your donations. Appreciate so much. Help me to purchase all of this and the things that I am doing. And I have a new meditation pack. I forgot to add it. It is 3888 and it's going to be about sleeping. I noticed that many of my clients and my friends and sometimes myself, I can't sleep, or then I wake up and then I am like a hole, right? And then the next day I feel tired because I couldn't rest. So I prepare 9 guided meditations, kind of like hypnosis. I put yourselves guys to sleep anyway. And in these journeys you guys will go to healing chambers, to Arcturus, to Vega, to Pleiades, to Sirius, and it is to reprogram yourself. It has affirmations and the healing that you could do while you guys go to sleep. And this is what we are going to do for the next portal that is going to be on November 11th. Thank you. I know it's kind of like my thing, and I said, if I'm good at it, why I don't embrace it? So I did a certification of hypnosis and meditation. I have been working on it. I don't know if you guys notice a change on my meditations lately, but it is a 6-month certification that I am still working on it, and this is going to be the first 9 package. I would like to do more reprogramming because it's an easy way to self-sleep, to self-heal, and to reprogram yourself. If you would like to reprogram yourself, it's normally good to do it for 21 days because it is the time that your cells need to anchor a new belief. I hope that makes sense. So whoever is interested, it is 3888, very affordable. I know, well, it's very affordable, and I'm going to send it November 11th. And have a beautiful, beautiful, and amazing day. Bye bye.